One of the greatest challenges faced by members of the DevOps team today is how they can quickly and efficiently knock Jira tickets on the head, i.e., get them to a done state in the shortest amount of time. Around here, this is no mean feat. Today, I wish to share with you my strategy on how I go about doing this in a view to accelerating the whole team's Jira ticket resolution throughput. The first step to making swift work of the ticket is understanding the requirements from the Jira ticket. Each ticket must have the essential details like the ask, aka requirements, the conditions, e.g. Security constraints, the timeline, that is the sizing or how long you've got to complete the ticket, and finally what done means, what done looks like, that is the acceptance criteria. How do you know it's done? The ticket should have within it some things that your work can be marked against. If a ticket does not have the components clearly described, then it really needs to be refined properly before you even start to consider taking positive action to actually address the ticket. Spend your initial efforts to get the ticket into an actionable state. Once you've done this, put an update into the ticket to spell out what you're planning on doing and get this ticket resolved. Publish your plan of action for the ticket. In doing so, you start off knowing where you wish to end up, and that end spot, in your opinion, should satisfy the clearly stated definition of done and thus resolve the ticket. Once the requirements are clear, selecting the appropriate infrastructure as code tool is critical. Hopefully, there are pre-established standards in place defining the toolkit you've got to work with, the structure of the code you compose, and the process to follow. Choose your poison. It is here that you have a chance to actually do the fun stuff. Be ready to solve real-world problems during this phase, and remember, the challenges faced here, along with the strategies that you adopt in order to deal with them, is where you expand your experience as a DevSecOps engineer. So how do you actually get things done quicker, I hear you ask? Be creative, I say. Come up with a set of principles governing your workflow. Here are a few to get your creative juices flowing. Let's start with the obvious one. Leverage reusable IAC modules. Use libraries of code that your team already has. Use snippets of code that you have already used yourself in the past. Use snippets of code that exist out there in the wild. Your choices are limitless. There's no point in reinventing the wheel wherever you can avoid it, I'll say. Another one is to use artificial intelligence where possible. This is a new one. You can leverage upon open modules like ChatGPT and Perplexity. Alternatively, and this is how I roll, have your own private language learning module installed on your laptop. Something like Olama is a good choice, so that the big corps are not snooping in on your queries. An added bonus to using your own model is that they can be tuned to respond to those queries that the likes of ChatGPT refuse to. Additionally, traditional online resources like Stack Overflow are as always at your disposal. This resource is particularly helpful in getting answers that real people have given to your challenges in the past. It never hurts to find out how engineers have previously solved the problems that you are now facing. Don't get bogged down by the bugs of the tools you use. Work with what you've got. Find a pretty path and don't go whining about the bugs that you may encounter along the way. Many bugs in tools can be avoided by using the same software but in a different way. Recognize the bug, find a workaround, report the bug, move on. Time box the head scratchers. Get stuck on trying to solve one problem. After a while, and everyone should recognize how long is suitable for them, if a problem is proving too difficult to solve on your own, go seek some assistance. You may have a team around you that can help you. Use them. The best teams comprise of engineers who are always willing to share their thoughts on how to crack those hard nuts. I, many a time, also draw upon my subconscious mind to solve work problems. I sleep on the real challenging ones, and by the morning, 5 minutes into the day, I'm reveling in the pleasure of having solved. Fail fast. If you're not sure your algorithms are sound, implement them quickly and see how they stand up to scrutiny. Prototype the solution. Get something out there. Don't worry about it being perfect. The software engineering process will soon reveal how good or inadequate it is. As someone somewhere always said, perfection is the enemy of progress. Be your own bug catcher. Be a designer, implementer, and tester all rolled up into one. Always look to stress test your solutions rigorously before putting them up for scrutiny by others. Check your work before asking others to do the same. It makes for a higher quality of product all around, and you save your colleagues time to find the real difficult bugs that exist in your software. And remember, it's in the nature of software to have bugs in them. It's the role of both the engineers and the process, like formal unit testing, to detect them. Write automated tests for your product, both to help with the initial testing and to preserve the quality of the software for the future. The test will help prevent the future maintainers of your code from introducing new bugs whenever they update it. Also, having tests alongside the code would encourage anyone updating it to review these tests and to ensure that they are up to date. Automate the execution of these tests and make it mandatory for them to be successfully executed before any code changes are accepted into the repo. And finally, remember that there's nothing hidden under the sun. Nothing shared here in this video is rocket science. These are just a few of the techniques you can use to speed up your turnaround time for dealing with Jira tickets. Adopting any of the ideas presented here would also certainly improve the quality of the work you produce. Oh, by the way, there's no secret sauce. So you're getting on with the work, doing a good job. Keep the rest of the project team updated with your progress. The way to do this is to add comments to your Jira board tickets as and when progress occurs. The tickets on the board are the most effective way of keeping those interested in what is happening. Yes, you may have and attend stand-ups, but not everyone can make them. Additionally, put your money where your mouth is. Persist your updates in the tickets and don't just rely upon the words of mouth to keep others informed. When the job is done, update the relevant documentation, raise a peer review request for your work, and progress the Jira ticket on the board to the next lane, i.e. in review. It's kind of out of your hands now. This is the home stretch. Pester, cajole, plead or arm twist someone capable to take a look at your work. If necessary, arrange a meeting to walk them through what you've done in a bid to get them to give you feedback or agree in principle that you've done a good job and have met all the prescribed completion criteria of the ticket. Get them to add a comment in your ticket to say they've taken a look and are kind of okay with what you've done, as it appears to meet the acceptance criteria. Once the requisite reviews have been received, make the delivery manager aware of the fact that you intend to move the ticket to the resolved or done phase, and basically you're looking to grab another one. Maybe take a breather to reset. It's time to rinse and repeat.